Hello everybody, and welcome to part 3 of the Denetella Heiniger Horse Clipper rebuild. I'm Simon and welcome to Oakside Saddlery. Now, these parts, these clippers, they've taken me a bit of doing. We've got there in the end. I think I've managed to find all the bits. I just need to figure out how to put them all back together again, because as we can see with these, there are lots and lots and lots of little bits, and they all are different. Nothing's the same. So we're going on reversal of what we previously did. So we're going to lose that for the time being. I'm going to lose that. I'm going to get this head together. So the gear was knackered on it, wasn't it? So this is the old original gear with all the burring on the side there, and then I managed to find a replacement one. These are easy enough to do. They got a little flat. The indented side, so one side sticks out, one side goes in, is going to sit inside there, so it would sit just in this position here. What I'm going to do first is put a little bit of grease just around there, because it does pivot on that, and I can also see that just on the edge of there is a little burr as well, so that obviously got caught. So let me find my grease. So a little bit of grease just around inside there somewhere. No, doesn't need too much. Push that spindle back through, find our flat. Where was that? I've done all that off camera, I think, didn't I? Oh, well, never mind, eh? I'm sure you get the gist of what I'm doing. It's not that complicated. Hopefully, we are in the right position. So, there's my little washer. As I've got grease all over my fingers, now it sticks easy. I'm going to line up with that, and then we're going to push it on. He says, grease packed fingers. There's a screwdriver. A bit of pressure on the back of it. It clicks into place, so that holds that gear in there. It already feels better. It's not anywhere near as worn as the other one was. Before I could have done that, I could put some oil in there, but never mind. Let's sort that out now. So we put a drop of oil just inside here. First time I've been using this for a while, so it won't go for properly. Not sure even if there's any left in there. Highly professional. Let's do some different oils instead. This is clipper oil, so all we've got to do is put it on that edge there. Same sort of thing, isn't it? That's exactly what you're going to use, and it goes in. So the other place there is where you should put some oil through. So most people oil their blades, but in actual fact you want to go into there and just give it a little squidge, because that takes it directly into that spindle as well. Give it a turn. Yeah, so if you remember what I was talking about as well, I said about these inserts. So these are the replacement ones. They got that little black insert in there. So that is important. So these ones, the old ones haven't got it. That's why they didn't work. New ones have. We've got a blade carrier. So the blade carrier is going to sit here. There's a drive block goes on there, which is over there somewhere. Sits on here. These are going to sit inside there, fixed into there. And then again, as you put your pressure on, it goes through and screws them up. So that's how they want to sit in this sort of position. They're quite often a bit funny on how they go. So they sit here, and then this thing all needs to whittle around and everything else. So they are slightly different sometimes as to what ones fit where, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to sit on there, so when it puts that pressure on, it drives into the back of it. So let's find the two screws for that. So little two tiny ones, I think, are that one there. Ooh. Yeah, so sorted out my two screws. Took me a little while to find them all. Told you there's lots of them, lots of bits and pieces out of these, but these two here fit. I think all of them little ones fit. So that's the head. These are going to go in here, so it's going to sit there. This is going to sit in here, and it sits this side of it, so it actually levers into it. So when it tightens up, it presses on it. So there's one there. Line that screw up. You know, I've got grease all over my fingers still, so it's nice and easy now to get hold of it. There it goes. Tighten it up there. Little screwdriver. I'll tighten it up just there. There's the other one gone. Yeah, and this one here is going to sit just in there. I'm sure I'll get going off camera on this time. I've obviously got it somewhere different to where it normally is. line it up. That's going to go on there. Tighten that one up. Now this time I'm going to tighten them up properly. It's a bit of pressure, turn at the same time, go up as it goes tight, put some pressure on it, turn at the same time, that way it stops it bearing that head over, yeah? So that's our drive screws there. We've got the two inserts in it, they're going to sit down into there. And we need these two. So I replaced these, I found some other ones again that have got a better head on them. So we're going to line one up, line it up the hole on the other side, give it a little turn, that starts to go in there. Do the same on this side, line it up with the hole, feels like it there, a bit of a turn. This is the bigger screwdriver because couldn't dare have the same size on everything. Okay, nice and easy they should go, shouldn't be any tightness there until it gets right near the end. It's just starting to bite. This one's going to be the same. Nice and easy, just there. So if I tighten these up now, like I did last time, so that's one tight, second one tight. This time I should be able to move that. So last time, remember, when it didn't have the inserts in it, you can't move it up and down, so therefore the tensioner doesn't work. So the idea is this, it presses on the back there. This is screwed all the way in where I've cleaned it out. Press all the way on the back there, and that lines up into the drive block, and it goes from there. And it turns it from side to side. So let's have a quick look at this. So this block here, because you have to put this on before, that block sits there. The blade carrier sits over the top of it, and then as we turn, it moves it from side to side. And that's what moves the blades backwards and forwards. You have to be careful with these if you turn it on when they're off, because it throws it out and then throws that drive block out. So that's our head together. Just give my hands a little wipe over. Now let's get the rest of this back together. Okay, so we're going to put this first piece in. So we threadle it through, line it up. Top one, which is that fancy little one. Okay, so that's that funny little edge to it that fits on that air filter assembly. We're going to screw that in there. Again, it should be just fingers. It's got a brass fitting on there, so it's not too bad. It goes in there, and then we've got the bottom one, which is the odd screw out of all of these. That sits right down underneath all of that and into there. It's quite tight, this one, so too small a screwdriver, but that gives me the angle I need. A little bit of pressure on it just till it gets into the plastic. There it goes. It's just starting to kick in now. So when it gets it to its tightest point, I need to really press on this and just a little turn on it. The other one's a flat head. So again, that's going to sit here. Just tighten up the last part. Get a bit of pressure on it. We can get these back together. So we're going to push the switch assembly back in so it pokes out the other side, and that condenser just sits alongside it in a little part there. The clamp for these, it's got a wedge on it that fits on that switch, so it works quite well because it gets it at the same time. So we need to pass it through them wires, line it up, and then line the screw up so it holds it all in place there. That went in. That needs to be fairly tight, so the switch is in the right spot. Switch is on and off. These are nicely clamped in. I took the wires out, didn't I, from this? And I've redone the wires, if I can find it. There it is. I've cut the wire off and redone them all, so tied them all up, got rid of that little burr it had on the end. These are actually going to sit in here. If I thought about it, it would probably been easier to do this before I put that in, but never mind. I'm just going to loosen them up as best I can. One over there. So brown is that side, blue is the other side. So we'll see how well they fit in. They're running quite well, to be honest. Just tighten that up on there. there, so they can go nice and tight. Go nice and tight. Cable protector that goes across there, and then we have our cable clamp, which is going to sit on top of there. And again, we need two different screws, which I think are these bigger ones here. They feel right to me. So one sits through there. One sits in there. They're going to sit across the top of that. Screwdriver. One in there. One in there. So we're all lined up. Just tighten them down again. That one's going tight. That one's gone tight. So when you get these cable clamps, you must get the sheath. So the sheath is the outer black part on these. You must get that clamped in. That's what holds it, not the inner wires. The inner wires are wires and it's protection for them. So this is what's double insulated part of it. Yeah. So you've got to get them all the way through. Good. So all of this together, we need to get this motor back together. So this is our motor. The bearings are good on it. Could do with a drop of oil in there. So we're just going to squish a bit in there. I'm going to put a bit down in the bottom one here as well, so it turns at that point there. Let's just work that in. Here, that's starting to go. Good. Removing the excess. Don't need too much on it. We'll mop that bit up from there as well. So our motor is going to slide into here with this thrust washer at the bottom there. So the tip I showed you before. To get that in there, we're going to drop that over my screwdriver so it's on there, and then I'm going to poke my screwdriver in until I find the bottom, and then I can tip it until let's have a, should we do that one again? Drop it over my screwdriver, put the screwdriver in into where I want it to be, and then all I've got to do is move it around. The light's really bad today, until it sits. Let me just nose right in the bottom there. You probably can't see that very well because it's right down the very bottom that this sits on. This then's going to sit inside here. If you haven't taken them brushes out, this is an impossibility to get these on. Now these, it looks almost like it goes both ways, but in actual fact it will only go one way in there because one side is slightly narrower than the other, and it's got little tiny like 45-degree cuts on it. So you're going to get to a point and it should sit in there, and that is our motor fitted into place. I've had a drive head on here, so this takes the adapts it to the basically the front part, so that is going to sit on here. And again, this can only go one way, so if you look at it, it's got a flat on one side, not on the other, so it's going to sit somewhere around there. And then we have our 4 screws that all drop all the way around this to hold them in. So these are these longer ones here. 2, 3, 4. That's them. So again, we can check these because they're all brass fitting. Do they fit in nicely? Yes. So therefore we're ready to go. So flat to that side, drop them in there, and drop one in there. These are the little small Phillips screwdrivers again. So one goes in there, give it a little light turn. Once it's going in, don't over tighten it. One in here. So, I don't know if you noticed there, did you see I turn it the wrong way? Let's turn it the wrong way and you can get the threads to drop into place. So this one here. And there, and the last one goes down that hole. So we drop it into the hole, push it in, hopefully find the end of it. That's it. Get a nice little go, nothing too much. We can tighten that down. Tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. Oh, just going to put a bit of pressure on these. Oh. That one. That one. That one. Yeah, so we're getting there. Next parts. Air filter. A little bit cleaner than last time. Certainly a lot cleaner than last time. Remember, this part here just sits in there. Again, it's to stop you putting your fingers in there. And then what we've got is 4 screws again, which are going to be these 4 here into there. There should be 1 left to go over to that. So that's going to sit just there. It catches a cable in, and don't forget it, which I always do, a bit of rope goes into there as well. Now these bits of rope, all they are is a knot through a hole. Nothing special. I tend to try and want to keep that bit out of the way of the electrics if I can. So I try and shut it in there. Oh, bit of plastic insulation things falling out. It's going to sit across the top. A little twist. There you go. So, one in there. One in there. Little screwdriver again. Start to buy it. Start to buy it. Neither of them went in, that one went. I might have put one of the different ones in there, never mind. That one's on there. That one's on there. That one's on there. That one's on there. So, air filter is going to sit into there. And our last screw, we've got our last little screw we've got. Sits in there. So the idea of that air filter is you can clean that yourself. So you're not actually stripping them down. All you've done is taken the screw off, clean that filter up, put it back together again. Blow out any hair you got, you can just, if you need to, in there. So that is our clippers almost back together. What we're going to do, I've put a different fuse in there. So we've got a 3 amp on there. Check the cable. I'm going to plug it in because I'm not sure if it's turned on or not. It won't work because there's no brushes in it. Just testing to see if any of you were actually watching, because I wasn't. Brushes. They're going to sit in there. They've got a little curve to them. See that little curve? So that curve is actually going to rest on that commuter ring. They'll only go in one way. So they sit onto there. These are a bit of a pain in the bum too, because you need to get that lined up with that, and then that lined up with the thread on the other side. And they break really easy. I think I broke them before on one of the videos. So as you're doing it, they just break. So they're like a really insulated plastic, but it is just, as soon as it gets in there, don't over tighten these at all. So again, it'll only go in one way. Get it into so far, get your plastic cap, you've got to catch that in, push it in the rest of the way, get that thread to bite by turning it with your hand. And again, when you tighten this up, if you look at this, I'm not hardly putting anything on it at all. It is just there, and then that's where it just starts to bite, and then leave it. Take that out. Little cap goes over the end, push them in. Cap goes over the end on this side, push it in. So now the clippers might work. So we plug them back in again. And as we can see, they work. So nicely done. A lot quieter than what there was. Hell of a lot quieter than what there was, which is a really good thing. So I'm plugging them again. I said before, if these are nylon, you don't need grease in there, but this is metal onto metal, so this really should be grease. So I'm going to put a bit of grease around the head of that. And then we've got our screws here, which are the two which are going to fit into this point there. So let's get a bit of grease. And all we're going to do is smear it on the edge of that gear. So it's just pushing it into that. Get that off my hands so I don't go putting it everywhere. Clippers will be this way round, won't they? So you're going to clip down. So that's where we're going to sit. So it's just right in there. I'm going to drop a screw in there. So these screws are another one of these funny designs that don't line up properly. So a screwdriver that's just too small. And really gently as I go again, because I just want it to start biting on that thread. And once it starts to go, which it's not at the moment, there it is. I'm not going to tighten it up because I still want it fairly loose. Same on the other side. That one went straight away. Now we're in there. Now I can start to put a bit of pressure on them. So pressure on it, turn. Pressure on it, turn. Pressure on their turn. Pressure on their turn. And a bit more. And a bit more. In fact, it's going to want another one. It goes. So that's our head in place. Blade carrier sitting in there. We've got our 2 screws that we can put in ready for the blades to fit on, because you don't have to take them out each straight away. So good news is we have ourselves a set of clippers back together. So let's plug them in and see if they sound any quieter with that new gear in there. I switched off this time. I want to keep my eye on this because I don't want this to come out, because it will move. But if we have a little listen, sounds 100 times better, doesn't it? So let's get rid of this. I need a bit of oil in that. Get rid of my grease. I need a drop of oil down in here. A drop of oil in there. That's good to go. Clippers back together. So, I'm not sure if you can read that. It looks like a Dentella, Denetella. Never heard of them before. Just need pack testing. Everything else is sorted. Blade's going to be sharpened. All them other bits and pieces that I've managed to save can be put somewhere safe. So we've got to figure these out. They look like they go together. I don't know what that is. I've got more sets of blades in there. And I've got another set of blades in here. So these are all going to be sharpened. When I take them up to him, I'll get the chap who checks them out for me. He can sort them out. If you need your blade sharpening, you don't need to send blades to me. You can, and I'm going to give him a little plug, you can send them to Swale Sharpening Services on the Isle of Sheppey. Very minced on the Isle of Sheppey. He does blades and he will sharpen them up there for you. At the moment I think he's about £6.50, £7, something like that, set of blades for horse blades. Yeah, he does scissors and all sorts. Get in touch with him. Nice chap. He's good. Help you out for it. Anyway, that's that done. Back together. All good to go. Pack test has got to come up. That won't be hard to do. Everything else is all fine for it. But otherwise, click that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And if you need your clippers serviced or repaired, you can send them to Oakside Saddlery. I'm on the internet, so it's oaksidesaddlery.co.uk. Or you can send it to me at oaksidesaddlery@gmail.com, or leave a comment in below. Otherwise, have a good day and enjoy yourself, and goodbye.